Welcome back to the Tribal Lines podcast. I'm your host, Stephen Lupo, and today I am here with the co-host of the century from last season, doing a bunch with us, and he's back for the first episode of season 48. Alex Rubino, how you doing?
Co-host of the century. What an honor, my friend. Steven, it's good to be with you. Season 48 off to an amazing start. So let's get into the good, the bad, and the ugly.
That's right, definitely. I loved this season so far. It was a great first episode. I'm excited to talk about it.
Yeah.
Something I wanted to talk about before we get into the episode is how the format of this season's podcast is going to go. So we're definitely doing episode one recap, just like we're doing right now. But both Pat Johnson, my other co-host, and myself are going to be very busy this season with a lot of stuff outside of Survivor. So we are not going to be able to do as many podcasts recaps as we usually do in the past. And Pat is also not going to be able to be on most of the podcasts this season, similar to last season. So if anybody wants to co-host with me, please let me know, hit me up, and I would love to have you on for one of the recaps. And the way we're going to do it is after recapping episode one, we're going to do a pre-merge recap, and then we're going to do a first half of the merge recap, second half of the merge, and then the finale. So we're going to have five podcasts this season, and we're going to try to capture all of the best moments of each section of the game and have a lot of fun with it. So the next one after this will be the end of the pre-merge. Once we know that they're about to merge, we're going to hop on a podcast with hopefully one or two co-hosts and recap what happened pre-merge and how they're going to be set up for the merge. So I'm excited for that. And let's get into this episode. This first episode, I definitely wanted to do a podcast for the premiere, try to get a general idea of how we're feeling about these 18 castaways and what we see for their future. And yeah, I'm excited to get into it. So
Let's do it.
this is the first time it's ever been shown like this in 48 seasons. It starts off with a cold open of all of the videos of the castaways hearing that they got on Survivor for the first time. I really liked seeing that. We never really get to see that. Regardless, I mean, unless you're like looking it up on YouTube and you find it, but I don't think they usually show that regardless every single season. So I thought this was really cool that we got to see this. What'd you think?
Oh, fantastic. Fantastic opening. You get to see how much this means to all these people right from the get-go. And I absolutely loved it. And they didn't have to like add much like high techness to it. There's like, here are the Zoom calls, here are them finding out they got on, boom, boom, and off we went.
Yeah, yeah, that was really awesome. And after that, we got their openings driving up to the boat, and then we get them all on the mat. And I know you wanted to share some behind the scenes stuff about the mat chats, so I'll let you talk about that.
Awesome. So what I love about these premieres, and what we don't see on the show is that Jeff does talk to every single person, gets their name, a little bit about them, what have you. And this season, a lot of the Survivor press corps were out there doing preseason interviews and there for the first 2 days. So Mike Bloom, who I absolutely love to death, he transcribed every single mat chat that Jeff had.
Oh, okay.
And one that really caught my eye was, and then I'm mad as it in the show, is actually from Thomas. Um, so Jeff asked him what made him basically want to go from being a fan to playing the game, and I quote, "So I like a lot of people found Survivor in the pandemic, and my husband kind of bullied me that I'd never seen an episode in 2022. He was like, 'You love pop culture, you're very gay, you should know what this is.'" Everybody proceeds like, so I started watching, and bless Jeff's heart, just goes, "Hold on, what does being gay have to do with it?" And so Thomas gives Jeff a little pop culture lesson, and he goes, "Oh, Survivor's huge with the gays," which made everybody else laugh. It's like part of the culture, yeah. So he was kind of ashamed that I never seen an episode. So of course I'm a completionist. I started with Borneo episode one. 9 months later, I had watched 42 seasons of Survivor. And then somewhere along the journey, I was like, I can do this, like a very confident version of me. And so I applied, and then here we are, and it's just a dream come true. So
That's awesome. That is a
I
really funny match.
there were some of them were boring. The Mike has an article up on parade.com if you want to check out all of them. Some were boring, some we saw on the show. I
hmm
will say Mary got a call the weekend at like mere days after she sent in her video. So, if
Wow.
you're that entertaining, you never know.
Yeah.
Um,
What do we think about the Matt chats that they did show? Because I feel like every single season there's some sort of conspiracy theory that like the winner or someone who does extremely well is going to get a Matt chat. So like who do we get a Matt chat from? I think it was Kevin,
Mitch,
it was
we got
Chrissy,
we got
Mitch.
Mitch, Chrissy, Kevin, and somebody on purple.
Okay.
Believe was it
Who
Eva? Why am I drawing? Oh, Sean.
Shaheen?
Did we get? No, we didn't get Chinese on the show, but we got
Um,
in
I
this.
think I think we might have just gotten three Matt chats.
Yeah.
Um, what do we think about that? Because to be honest, I mean, we'll talk about this later, but I don't think Mitch is going to do very well.
Hmm.
And Chrissy, I think will do well, but I don't see her being a big personality on the show. And Kevin, I think, is my winner pick. So I think Kevin getting the Matt chat is
Ooh.
definitely gonna mean that he does well. I mean, he's set up really well right now. I love him. He's got a great personality, golden retriever energy. So, what do you think?
Uh, I disagree with your winner pick. I'll tell you that much.
Okay, okay.
And I actually got to meet Kevin, Camilla, and Shaheen last week. Had a long convo with Kevin and Camilla. They are wonderful people. So I would like you to be right. For once, I would like you to be right, Stephen. I don't think you are. Um, but we'll see. Uh, and I will say other quick highlights. Jeff calls out Shaheen from his beard, which he just absolutely loved. Camilla said she applied out of anger that um oh God, what the 40 first boot of 45. Why am I drawing a blank?
Camilla
Who's the first boot of
applied out of
45?
anger. The first
Who is
boot
the
of
woman who
45.
quit? God, who quit
Oh,
for the
that
parade?
was, oh
Hannah,
yeah,
Hannah
Hannah,
Rose.
Hannah,
Thank
Hannah.
you. I'm so sorry. Wow, take away my fan membership card. She applied because being pissed off that Hannah quit.
Ha,
Straight up said that to
sounds like
Jeff.
Emily Flippin being pissed off that Gabler won. So she
Yeah.
applied.
So she applied out of rage, and then Justin applied because he wanted time off from the pizza shop, and the only way he can get it is if he got on Survivor. So
Well, that's hilarious. I love
yeah,
Justin. I mean,
yeah.
we didn't get too much from him, but like we did get a lot of pizza metaphors, and so I enjoyed that.
This is great. I am here for this cast. They seem so energetic, so overall very over the top. And I will say, gameplay wise, I think a bit messy. I don't know why. I just have a feeling. So we'll see what comes from there. But getting into the challenge, for the love of God. I get they want to like immerse them, birth them into Survivor with mud. When we don't know what these people look like, don't cover them in mud
Ah, that's
immediately.
a good point.
Like, make it hard. Although I don't need to see a third person dislocating their shoulder in an opening challenge, which is what Kevin managed to do.
hmm
Another discussion of whether they should have cut that out or not,
Nah, they shouldn't have cut that
but
out.
they probably should. I agree with you. They shouldn't have. But like, I I know this cast from doing a little bit of preseason press, but even then I'm like, wait, who are all these people? They all look like zombies covered in mud. So
Yeah,
bit
yeah,
of
that
a
makes
qualm.
sense. I don't like the mud. Stop opening with mud. It's silly. It's stupid. There's no point. It's just to show like, oh, you're on Survivor. It's gonna get dirty. Like you gotta dig deep. Like we get it. Like just do a normal challenge. We don't need to cover them in mud. I'm never a fan of the mud. Um, but it is
Uh,
what it is. But yeah,
yeah.
Kevin hurts his shoulder, and Mike Bloom actually, I think, tweeted something saying
Oh,
that it was taken out of the episode, but Kevin, after the fact, went to medical, and medical popped his shoulder back in.
Yeah, he had a whole great article about that. But one more thing I want to shout out, one match that I missed, and I this one I see why they didn't put it in the show from
Mhm.
Eva, how she started watching Survivor. She's there with her hockey teammates, but she started it as a drinking game. The first time she'd ever heard of Survivor, they played a Survivor drinking game where they made tribes, played flip cup, pong, and they made them all like immunity challenges, and then by the end of it, the fire making challenge was a breathalyzer, and if you were the most sober, you were out.
Oh, that's awesome. I should
And
do
she
that
won.
for mine.
And she won the first time she had ever played, and then was like, "Oh, I could be on this show." And then started watching it, and then watched it after filmed the video after a hockey practice, and was like, "I can be on this show, so I'm going to be."
That's
So
so funny. I love
chat.
that about Eva.
I love
That
her.
she has the same story as me. I
Uh
hosted
oh.
Survivor drinking games um with my friends, and we all put it together. And meanwhile, everyone knew that how big of a Survivor fan I was, and that I knew all about Survivor. And we started with 16 people, and somehow they let me get to the end, and I won the first season. And
Uh,
after that, I knew I'd be voted out every other time. So I started hosting only, and we've had 4 seasons already. It's a lot of fun.
oh,
Literally the
I
same
love it.
thing: beer pong, flip cup, uh, stack cup, a bunch of like relays.
Oh, Steven.
We have a pool, so you do flip cup, and then you have to swim to the other end of the pool, tag
Oh,
someone, they go. A lot of fun. I
you're
definitely should do
evil.
the breathalyzer as a final four fire
Oh,
making.
I can't with you. But yeah, back to the episode. Yeah, enough of the mud. I kind of like the way they did the journeys, like sending two people from the losing tribes. Uh, I will say I think it was really funny that like for I believe it was Cedric who just goes to Kevin when they're you didn't really get to do the challenge.
Oh,
Uh,
Justin.
Justin, sorry.
Yeah.
Justin's like, you didn't really get to do the challenge. And it's like, well, it's not his fault he dislocated his shoulder immediately. But I was like, all right, good thing it
No,
didn't come back to
exactly.
bite him. I think they're good, but I was like, are they screwing Kevin over by this?
Right, like
And then
was the reason why Justin tried to get Kevin to go because if he didn't come back with the supplies, then that's even puts more of a
you
target on his back.
maybe, and I don't hate that, but don't vocalize that.
Right.
But I will say it worked out well. He's like, oh, it gets you the opportunity to do something that you didn't get to do. But yeah. And then Siva, the orange tribe, sends Kyle, which
We don't know why, but
not much there. I will say I'm not in general, I'm not a fan of whoever goes on that first journey. I think it's a
yeah.
terrible strategic position to put yourself in. Because even if you come back the hero, like one, you gotta have to come back the hero.
Yeah, if you come back the hero, I think you're fine. If you don't,
I'm gonna
then but it also depends on your personality.
it
Like,
does. It does, but I think if you come back as the hero, you're kind of maybe still at square one. I don't think you've like gained anything over the people who didn't go because the other five had time to strategize, get to know each other, and we all know how important first impressions are in Survivor and in life. You lose that right away,
mhm,
and you are already on the outs. Even if you come back and it's easier to overcome, you are still on the outs. So I don't like that. And if you fail, you are screwed. You are absolutely a dog climbing without a paddle. You are out of luck. But I gotta say, I'm glad Orange didn't lose that challenge because Kyle at least had time to reintegrate that way. And also just how sweet was he being like, I'm out of this, so I'm gonna help you.
that was amazing. Uh,
I just found that so
I think he is just a nice guy, and he was just doing it out of the kindness of his heart. But I'd say at least 2/3 of the reason why he did that was strategic, and it was such a great move.
yeah.
I mean, they already seemed like they were gonna bond, but that just further bonded
That's
them.
such
I think if there's a swap or if there's a merge, and they're both there, I think that will definitely help. I think
oh, it can't hurt
I feel like
for sure.
something like that is much stronger of a bond than journeys because you have seen before in the new era when you go on a journey, you could say like, oh, like we'll protect each other and whatnot, and then like you get to the merge and almost always one of the close relationships that we see happen at a journey ends with one of the two of the people that have the um that
Advantage.
relationship getting voted out in like the
Yeah.
first or second vote. So it usually never amounts to anything where they end up on opposite sides because of their alliances. So this, I think, actually could result in something good, especially because Purple. seems like the tribe that will go once or never before the pre-merge to tribal
They are
council. And
so
therefore,
stacked.
what if, because of this Kevin Kyle relationship, Orange and Green team up to try to get purple out at the merge? I could see it.
I'm so yeah, well, you make that good point, Loggy, because I mean they are stacked beyond belief. So much so like we see on the show how they're pretty much all athletes except Thomas and Bianca who form their own relationship.
Yeah.
But
Probably being weaker and also just liking each other's vibe.
what's so funny, there's a secret scene. There are actually two of them. One is on their tribe
Hmm.
where uh where Joe, Shaheen, Eva, and Star are talking sports, like all sports they play, watch, what have you. And Bianca is sitting there. She mentioned like she ran like track in high school, and she's like, in a confession, I am losing my mind. I hate sports. Can they stop talking about this? And I was mad. She's like, I should have listened to my brothers when they yapped about sports all the time. Um, so it's gonna be interesting. I'm really excited, and I will say, she was my preseason winner pick. And
Bianca?
so like, normally I'd be like, oh, she's on the outs, but she's playing it well, and I think is on a stacked tribe. So what a group! What a group they got.
Yeah, Kevin was my preseason winner pick. Um, and well, I guess I don't know. I never really came up with a set winner pick. Like it
You
was
can't
like
change. You
I
can't
I, I
change.
have like I had like top people for me. I'd say if I had to take a guess out of who will win, I would think it's either going to be Kevin, Kyle, Shaheen, and out of the girls, Camilla, Bianca, or Eva. Those were my three girls and three guys
Just pick the entire
preseason.
cast while you're at it. You got 6 of the 17. Just keep going.
Yeah, yeah, six out of the 18. I tried to limit to like the 33% that I think actually have a good shot at winning. And out of those six, I'd say that the person that I truly think is going to win is Kyle, and the
Okay.
person who I want to win is Kevin. So
All right. I
those
like
that's what
it.
I'm thinking. I think a guy is going to win this season.
Okay.
I feel like the girls, I mean, already I couldn't tell if a guy or a girl was going to win preseason, but after seeing this first episode, it seems like a girl will be voted out first in every single tribe because there's a
Oh,
girl on girl fighting in every single tribe. So,
I don't know. We'll see.
yeah, we'll
We'll see.
definitely talk more
But I
about
do
that.
want to get all three tribes to travel. I like that I think it really
Yeah.
helped last season that the three
Hmm.
tribes went to the first two tribes. We'll see what happens here. I don't feel that confident that purple's going. I'm just gonna hope it's not a steamrolling of the green tribe, which whose name I'm forgetting right now. But tribe names, whatever.
Yeah. So in purple, we got the California girls.
Yes, Joe,
Thomas,
Shaheen,
Dean,
and
and
Thomas.
Joe. Yep. And so I thought, first of all, I thought this was funny because it's an all guys alliance and they're called the girls.
I mean,
So
Thomas works in music. You have the song right there.
exactly.
Come on.
Yeah.
Uh,
But something I did want to bring up, which I think is unfair and is actually ridiculous when it comes to casting. I could see this maybe in Big Brother, but Survivor really doing this. 8 of the 18 castaways are from California. How do we let that happen?
yeah, here's the thing. I mean, if you're going to take 8 of 18 from any state, I can live with it being California, maybe
Yeah, but like
the biggest state there is. But
that's the
however, I'm
thing.
with you.
Yeah,
It's a bit much. It's a
anything
bit,
to start get a bond going on day one. If you're all from the same state, bang, let's make us an alliance from about people all from the same state. If you guys all like country music, oh, let's make a country music alliance.
yeah,
Like literally anything that is similar between people in the early days and the people generally like each other's vibe, they're
yeah,
going to make an alliance. So
yeah,
putting three guys from California on a tribe together, not only is it a guys alliance, but it's also a
yeah.
California alliance. I mean, that was destined to happen. But also,
Ah,
Survivor one doesn't truly know what's actually going to happen, but like
no.
they can kind of predict. But I have a theory that they try to put like they obviously make it kind of fair in terms of the tribes and tribe strength and stuff, but I do think that they lopside some tribes slightly because of the personalities on the tribe. Like I think they know that they love everybody on purple, so they tried to make them a stronger tribe so that less people would go out before the merge. I think that
Uh,
green is the weakest tribe because not because that uh the personalities on that tribe like suck, but because they're so good to the point where there's going to be conflict, and conflict makes for better tribal council episodes.
yeah.
So I and then orange is kind of just bleh. Like they have great personalities, but like I don't think their tribals are going to be that interesting. S-
I don't know. We'll
So I'm
see.
thinking they kind of made it so that in like on paper, purple goes to less tribals, green goes to more, orange goes to a middle amount. They don't know how it's actually going to shake out, but I think they slightly favored certain tribes on
Yeah.
purpose to get good TV.
Okay. I don't know about that. That might be a bit of a stretch, but I will say I agree with you that there is an imbalance. We'll see how it goes, but on purple, I love this group. They're great. We got our California girls, and I know jumping ahead a bit, but while we're on this tribe, the Joe and Eva moment,
Hmm.
uh, taking the game out of it for a second, just how sweet was that in every way? How heartwarming was that? Like,
Yeah. That was amazing. I absolutely loved the Eva and Joe moment. I mean, Eva I think is a made a great move not telling anyone other than Joe about her autism. I think when you have
yeah,
autism, you got to tell somebody out there. You got to trust someone, especially if you're going to have those episodes like she said she has. And she needs help. She needs someone to be able to help her when she can't help herself. And so you got to tell someone. And I'm so glad that Joe was on that tribe with Eva because Joe, out of the entire cast, honestly, was the best person for this responsibility at being a dad, being a sweet, nice guy,
yeah.
and also being just a strong dude who probably a lot of people are going to want to work with and at least keep around in the early days. So it's someone who, at least for the pre-merge, will definitely still be around to help Eva. So I think Eva
Yeah.
goes out before Joe in any case scenario pre-merge.
Ooh, we'll see.
Um,
Uh,
Pre-merge. I
Okay.
don't know about post-merge, but pre-merge, I don't see anyone targeting Joe before Eva, but I don't see anyone targeting either of them, to be honest. Um,
That's where I'm at with you.
yeah,
Yeah.
but the fact that Eva told him about his her episode saying like that she moves her hands around a lot and like grabs herself and she needs to be like grabbed and told that everything's going to be okay. Like Joe is 100% up for the responsibility, is happy that she confided to him and
Yeah.
will do anything it takes to not let her down, even if it means preventing him from having a good game, and even if it means ruining his game. And I truly think he's being honest about it. He seems like one of those, him and Eva both seem like people who say they're loyal and actually do
Yeah.
stay loyal. So if one of them gets voted out, the other one is 1,000,000% going to be blindsided. Or if they find out about the plan, they are going to cause chaos.
I'm
Um,
I'm
so
I think you're right. We'll see what happens. I think these two are gonna go far. And I'm excited
same.
for it. Really, again, great casting. I mean, it took way too long to get somebody with autism on the show. It took way too long to get somebody with a stutter on the show, and Mitch. Glad they did it now. They're great representations.
Yeah, and Eva,
And
I
great
think is
people.
my girl winner pick.
Oh,
I think a guy is winning, but Eva
E
is my girl winner pick.
Eva is such a badass. And I will say the crazy thing about this cast, she's the youngest by far. This cast is almost everybody's older than 30, which I like seeing. I like seeing it. It's gonna make me sound mean, an older cast in the Survivor sense of the word, because none of these people are really old. Um, but I think it really gets people who have like in a lot of cases wanted it even longer.
Hmm.
When you have people, no disrespect to anybody like who's like in their early 20s, like even if you wanted it since you were a kid, when you're an adult and like really wanting to be on the show and hearing like Mitch and Chrissy, like and a few of these people who have like wanted it forever and have been applying for 20 years, like that, it just warms my heart. And you get people who may not even be great at the game, a la Stephanie, no offense. But you see that how bad they've wanted it for so long, and that really warms my heart. But my
Yeah.
my only real complaint about this episode is speaking of purple and orange, we didn't get much from either tribe. Like I get green
Because
went to
it's the Say
tribal.
show.
We got the say show. But do I know
Oh,
you want to probably touch on the Siva tribe that is our orange tribe before we get
yeah, before we get to the
to
Say show, we want to talk about the Orange Tribe.
the
But
Warbler.
one more thing I wanted to talk about for the Purple Tribe. Well, first is the California girls wanted to bring in a fourth. Thomas wanted Bianca, but everyone, all three guys liked Eva. So they went with Eva. They didn't really show much of the actual formation of that four-person alliance, but
Yeah.
we know from the confessionals and from everyone's relationship to Eva that that is going to be a tight four, in my opinion. And I think it's going
Uh,
to be interesting to see what Thomas does if Bianca's on the chopping block. Um,
I'm
so
re
that'll be interesting if it ever gets to that.
Yeah.
Because they
And I
might not
am
go to tribal much, but
I,
yeah.
and I
And
am
then
curious if Shaheen and Thomas see that Joe gets really close. Joe and Eva are close, and they want to split the two of them up.
right,
How
right.
that goes. That this could be interesting.
Hmm.
And then we've got Bianca with Thomas and Star kind of out on
Star
our
with the
own. But
idol.
yes,
Star was looking for the idol for over an hour, and everyone noticed. And apparently, people still like Star because of her strength on the tribe, but everyone's strong on the tribe. So I think
yeah,
they're saying that because they don't want to throw out anyone's name and have it get back to them because
yeah,
they haven't had to go to tribal yet. But I do think when push comes to shove, Star will be an easy person to vote out based on loyalty purposes because they've already established loyalty with everyone else. However, Star is definitely going to get more confessionals next episode, but
yeah,
Bianca got barely any this episode. The fact that Thomas was not able to bring Bianca into the four, I do think that Bianca could be in trouble on the Purple Tribe as well as Star if Star is not the one who goes home.
yeah. I'm with you there.
Yeah.
But we'll see. At the confessionals this episode, like Eva got 6 on Loggy. The next highest Joe, Shine, and Thomas all got 4. Then like Star got 2. Bianca got 1. One confessional in the premiere.
Yeah. I
And we
mean,
will
Genevieve got like two in the first three episodes and then is what made the final five and was
I
probably
it's
one of the
so
biggest threats to win. So you never know.
it's I just this editing bothers me sometimes, and I get it. They have a tough job to
Yeah.
premiere. Um uh but
I guess there was just not much that went on with Bianca, and I
yeah.
could see a
What
Star versus Bianca in maybe next episode. So
ooh,
that
I'm
could
here for it.
increase her confessional count. Star barely got any confessionals. I think Star got one confessional, and that was just her looking for an
She
idol and
she
not
she
finding it.
got 2. She ended up technically they
Okay,
called it 2. Um,
okay.
but
But yeah,
I'm
let's talk about this tribe real quick and our thoughts on everyone. So, what do you think about Thomas?
love him. I early on you can maybe think like when he's like, oh, I want to see how I'm playing this. Maybe he could overplay a little bit. But I think he knows what he's doing. He's fitting in with this group. I'm really excited for Thomas.
Yeah, me too. I really like Thomas. I think he is definitely the weakest guy. So if they do have to
Physically the
get rid of a
weakest. Yeah.
guy, physically, yeah. So if they do have to get rid of a guy, I could see it maybe being Thomas. I think everyone loves Joe, so he's good. I love Joe. Um, I think he's in there for the long haul. I think Thomas is too, though. I think he is very charismatic. He said that even though he's weak, he maybe looks weak in challenge perspective. He said his probably one of the best people at communicating and socializing with people, making relationships. He said it as his strength, and
Yeah.
I see it so far. Already
Yep.
making a good relationship with literally everyone on the tribe except for Star, but we just haven't really seen much of the
Yeah.
communication with Star, so who knows? But yeah, I think Thomas is in a good spot. Joe is in a good spot. Eva obviously is in a good spot.
Yep.
Love her. Bianca, we don't know. We know about the relationship with Thomas, but
Bianca, I think
that's
needs some
it.
time.
Yeah,
Um,
we need some time for Bianca. Star
we
is
need more
seeming
time
like
for
on
us.
the outs because of looking for an idol for over an hour, but we won't know until next episode when we find out more. And then Shaheen. We didn't get
The
too
bearded
much from
man.
Shaheen, but he seems awesome.
Yeah. I really think he was an alternate of 46 and was really
Okay.
called out by that cast. And I think and I hope he took that year where he didn't get on the show to learn how he's perceived and to grow from it. He's awesome. He is an all awesome, awesome addition to this cast.
Yeah,
But yeah,
I'm excited to see
I
him. I also know that my girlfriend's cousin Bill Lucio said that he knows Shaheen as because they're both like I think speech or debate
debate.
professors.
Yeah.
Yeah, debate professors. So they see each other at like conferences and stuff. So that's cool that we have a little insight on the kind of guy he is.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to watch him play. I mean, he's my like third guy ranking in terms of who I think can win the game. So I think he has a good chance. And I'm excited to see him do
Well,
well. I feel
we
like he just brings
oof.
off the vibe
Yeah.
of he's gonna get blindsided at like final eight or something. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. I'm with you.
All right, so now that we talked about the purple tribe, let's get into the orange tribe with the person who got probably the most confessionals, or at least the most screen time out of everyone on the orange tribe, David, who is absolutely massive and he's very cocky in his confessionals, but in a fun way rather than an annoying way, which I did like. And I really like David. What do you think? I don't think he's going to do well in the game
Uh,
long term, but I think he's fun to have around on the season.
David's fun to have around for now, I think.
Hmm.
If he goes out pre-merge, I think he could be great. If he makes it deep, I probably will get sick of him. Fun
Yeah,
fact,
yeah, you're right.
Camilla and Kyle had more confessionals than he did, actually.
Really?
David had real quick. David had 4, Camilla had 6, Kyle had 10.
Damn.
Kyle also had a few on his little excursion with
Right, right, right.
Kevin. Yeah, David's take him or leave him. We did get a secret scene where he was like, "I can make fire without flint," and then couldn't.
Oh, and then he couldn't?
No, he
That's
could not.
that's so funny.
And they're all like, David said he could, but he couldn't. So
Yeah.
yeah,
But from David, we did get the little conversation with Mitch after finding the black animals on the trees and the letters underneath it, underneath the string. So that's definitely going to be something for a Beware Advantage. Nobody has found the Beware Advantage to our knowledge, so
uh,
we don't know what that's going to be about. We know that, which we'll talk about in a second, say had the Beware Advantage with the colored animals, but here it's a little different because they're all the same color and there's letters underneath string. So I think every tribe has something similar, but a
yeah,
little bit different so that when people communicate about it, there could be like people might think it's a white lie where it's like they're telling part of the truth but not the full truth because they're so similar but they're slightly different. So that could be interesting for the producers trying to do that.
for sure.
But David telling everyone, not only Mitch, but everybody on the tribe about the letters and about the rope and about the animals. What did you think about this?
David can't keep his mouth shut at all. I, especially when you don't know what it is, just shut up. That's a common bit of advice for David.
Although I think this does make him loyal to his original tribe. Like I don't think he's current right now he doesn't have any at that point he
Yeah.
hadn't have any allies. So I don't think he was trying to hide information
Wait.
from anybody, but I do think that he's trying to have team camaraderie. And so I think he might share everything with his tribe mates that he
Yeah.
trusts, and at that point he trusted everyone, but um
Yeah.
but I don't think he's going to be like a blabbermouth like at the merge per
We'll see.
se.
I don't
But
know. I think he's just a talk, 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 talk. He likes, I mean,
yeah.
although he was also like, yeah, we shouldn't really be strategizing. Okay.
Yeah, I thought that was a little weird too.
David's fun, but I think he's in his own little world.
Right. I think he's
We
here
didn't,
more for personality rather than
yeah. Oh
gameplay.
yeah. We didn't get a ton from the rest of this tribe besides how they like their steak cooked and which I will say medium well, also very wrong. Charity, I'm on to you. And
Yeah,
what
yeah.
movies they like. Kyle and Camilla bonding is cute.
The
I
Kyle
love
and
the both of them.
Camilla with like all the minor things in common with each other, and then David, yeah, saying that you can tell someone's personality by their favorite movie, car, and the steak, how their steak is cooked. I thought that was a little funny tidbit that was added
Yeah.
in. Um, but Camilla is proving to be very strategic because Charity throws out Kyle's name to her, and because she really likes Kyle, she wants to make sure that not only is she in the majority, but also that Charity gets thrown under the bus And
I'm gonna ram that bus back and forth.
right.
I shout out Camilla. Absolute love her.
Yeah.
Even if she doesn't have one single ab. Um, no,
And
she
the fact that she's able to throw out Charity's name, and usually when you throw out someone's name that early, it
it comes right
backfires for
back.
you. And it did for Charity, but it did the complete opposite for Camilla and got her into a four-person alliance from the shared mistrust of Charity, which was great. And that's Kyle, David, Chrissy, and Camilla. And I do think this is going to be a tight four and the four people
Oh,
that go into the merge. I think they're going to go to
inch
tribal twice, and I think uh
Charity
Charity and
and
Mitch are
Mitch.
gone. That's what I'm thinking.
I think you have way too much faith in any alliance in Survivor, to be honest with you. We'll see. I have no faith they'll stay together. I have no faith that they won't. They'll
Actually, yeah, I
probably
mean they're only
it's
bonded
too early.
from charity, the mistrust in Charity,
Yeah,
nothing else. But I
we'll
don't know.
see. And it
I
also
think
depends when they go,
yeah,
for
I
sure.
think it also could depend on who loses the challenge. I think if David sees that someone lost the challenge and was in the alliance, I think David could be so pissed that the challenge was lost when he did so good in the
Oh,
challenge.
he's gonna be
If he was
amazing. He'll
doing
never
that
make a
part of the
mistake.
challenge, they would have won. But because someone messed it up, he might try to get them out just because of that. So I could see that blowing up if that's the case. But if
We'll
that's
see.
not the case, I could see them move working together.
Yeah, we'll see.
But Chrissy,
I've
what do
got
you think
nothing
about
else.
Chrissy?
She's cool. That's really it.
Yeah, we don't
She's
know
cool. I
much.
think she might get a little overbearing, being a bit older, being a leader. We'll see. But I like her. I hope she does well. I don't have the most faith in her, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Um,
And I love what I've seen from Kyle so far.
yeah.
I I I think Kyle's my legit winner pick. Kevin is who I want to win, but if I had to give a winner pick, I think Kyle's gonna win. I think he has it all.
And you'll
And
just take credit no matter who wins on this cast, basically. You're just gonna say you picked them. So there.
if Kyle or Kevin wins, I'm taking credit. If
If
anyone
if
else
any
wins,
no, you're gonna take
or
credit if half the
Eva
fucking cast
or
wins.
Eva or yeah, anyone
Or
in
yeah,
the
yeah,
cast,
enough.
I'm taking credit.
Steven, if I went out there and won this same season, you would have said you called it.
Oh, I would have
Really?
called it
Yeah,
100%.
100%.
Yeah.
Uh, let's talk about Green, if you
Uh,
don't mind.
yeah.
Our Vula tribe gave us the most content, and fun fact, Say broke a record in the premiere.
Uh-huh.
The most confessionals in an episode, any episode
And more than Natalie White in
in an
her entire
entire
season.
Survivor editors, wake up. My God, obviously we can't go back and undo the uh, injustices to Natalie White, but in a premiere where there are 18 people, how on earth? I don't care what Say did. I don't care if Say won the game on night one. 21 confessionals, even if they're short, whatever. How? How do you give 21 confessionals to somebody? It just, I don't know. It is the issue I do have with the premieres, and especially nowadays, and I think the Green Tribe exemplifies it. We at least saw with Purple and Orange, we saw them like getting along. We saw them making relationships. What did we see on Green? We basically saw Say looking for an idol. That's all we basically saw. Beware Advantage, 20 minutes of them doing a scab, figuring out a puzzle.
Oh God. And also
It's too
like
much.
Day
It's a
was
cool
what?
idea.
Crying, freaking out that she had to do a puzzle. Oh, she's so bad with numbers. Like, why, Jeff? Why? That was really getting annoying. And but the funniest thing, I was dying laughing for at least like 2 minutes over this. Um, saying that it wasn't just her who solved this. It was all of the women who raised her, not the three other guys in her alliance that
No,
practically
no,
did the whole thing for
yeah.
her.
I think she
Like,
was more just going with like people in my life like who made me not quit. Yeah, but
yeah,
not yeah. To give it credit to nobody else who helped her.
I thought that was so. It's like it wasn't
Oh my
just her. I thought it was gonna be. It was the team effort, and then
oh
saying it was all
God.
the women who raised her. I was dying laughing.
Oh man. Yeah, but the
So
just looking
bad.
at this tribe for confessional numbers, Say got 21 confessionals, Kevin got 13. How about the person who went home and Stephanie? Six. Six confessionals, and she's gone.
Well,
If
that makes sense.
if Say had gone home this episode with an idol, I can maybe live with the amount of confessionals.
You don't want to give the person who was going home too many, but you want to
I
give her
ra-
enough to
yeah,
be like, okay,
and
like
we
maybe
didn't get
this
enough.
person
We
could
didn't.
survive.
I mean, listen, I could tell that Stephanie was going home. That didn't seem that hard.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
hoping not, honestly. I
We
mean,
should have gotten him a little bit more, but
oh my God, no. The justice for Stephanie. Absolutely. But
Yeah, and
and fun
but
fact, a New Yorker who I know hits up the New York City Survivor watch parties from time to time. So shout out Stephanie, you are
oh,
awesome.
cool,
Um,
nice.
she's been a huge fan, but I'm bummed for her.
Yeah, and I honestly I was happy that whoever went home, either Say or Stephanie, I didn't like either one of them. I didn't like
Oh,
Stephanie because of just the way she like thinks about
it,
like the relationships with people, how she was saying like, oh, like air signs, like there's three air signs, like, oh, like I love your energy. She gives off the vibe
Steve
like, oh, I'm
Stephen
gonna
Lupo is
cast
not
a
an astronomer.
spell.
I've gathered that. I've gathered that from this podcast.
She gives off the energy is like, oh, I'm gonna cast a
Can
spell.
all right.
So I
Can
don't know.
can I just say how much we got too much to say? I will admit that, no doubt. And is she the best of the game? No, probably not. But her reaction, her facial expressions overall are the best. Not good in the game, but from an entertainment perspective, are awesome. Specifically, when Stephanie's going on about air signs at tribal council, and Jeff is like, uh-huh, uh-huh, and Say is just completely and utterly rolling her eyes at how
Uh-huh.
ridiculous this sounds to her. Oh, just great. The only thing I would have rather gotten from the episode is Say having to have played her idol. Because I will say this, I don't understand how you don't vote out the person with the idol first tribal. Like later on in the game,
Because they're in
fine.
your alliance,
You have been there for 3 days. Nothing is that solidified yet. At least I'm making her flush the idol.
I
I
guess.
don't know.
But like
I
Say is showing a lot of trust. The way she started it was, I think, terrible. It worked out for her, but I think it was terrible. And one of the reasons why I don't like her and don't think she's going to do well and don't like her gameplay is for two reasons. One, the alliance that she created, the four-person alliance, was created with only two people at first because Kevin was gone, and then they just added in Kevin. And it was built on the fact that she just didn't want to go home first. And she literally they weren't even talking, they didn't even have anything in common that they could bond over. It was just her saying like us three, right? We're locked in. Like are you kidding
you
me?
you kind of have to do that in the game of Survivor. Like you take every advantage you get. Every
You got to base it off something
yes,
for it to
you
be
do. That
solidified.
the problem is Say does not know time and place. At least
Yeah.
right away. Say's just like I want to play the game. You've got to adapt to the people in your tribe, and I think that's what Stephanie tried to do and failed. Stephanie was like, I'm gonna pull back and not be like my leader type self. If Stephanie had been that type, I think that would have worked out better for her on this tribe. On a different tribe, at a different season where they're playing slower, fine. But
Right.
Stephanie needed to be playing fast. Say was probably playing a little too fast. But at the end of the day, if somebody's driving the bus, you got to get on the damn bus.
Hmm.
If you don't like how it's going, fine. You have to get on the bus. And um, Say
Yeah.
was driving that tribe around.
And
And
also
can
just
I?
the way she was talking at Tribal,
Yeah,
like that was it was I think not it's not going to boat well for her in the
yeah,
future. I don't think she's going to do well. I think she's
no,
going to be not like annoying, not like a villain like
yeah,
type like Rome, like not that bad, but I do think giving off Rome type energy at Merge if she makes it there where like nobody really wants to work with her and she might be a
yeah.
liability as an ally.
I completely see it. I don't think Say is long for this game, but as long as she is, I'm here for it because she's
She
entertaining
has
to
an
me.
idol, so you never know.
You never know. But also, just want to give a quick shout out before we really get anything more in the vote to Kevin. Almost the worst start you could have in Survivor, dislocating your shoulder, looking strong. So he looked strong, but then it basically is weak in the challenge because of his shoulder, and then goes off and is away from his tribe right at the beginning. Yes, and who knows what would have happened had Kyle not broken that jug.
Right.
But he thankfully gets
I
the
think he still would have
supplies and
won.
comes. But I just want to give him credit for getting ingratiating himself in like that. And
Yeah,
also, he
amazing.
screwed up in the challenge in the immunity challenge too. And who are they all blaming? Stephanie, not him. He's scot free.
Right.
He's like, I'm good. And you know what? Good on Kevin. He is so likable. I'm just very proud of him.
Yeah, they
And
were saying golden retriever energy,
I
and
love it.
he definitely has it. I mean, everyone wanted to work with him. Say bringing up the four-person alliance, the guys all wanting to work with him. Him and Mary having a special connection, which
Yeah.
brings me to a question that I want to ask
Oh,
now that we
Mary.
know because we know what happened with the vote. Stephanie went home, and the swing votes in this vote was Justin and Kevin. They could have went
Yes.
either way. Mary and Stephanie trusted those two, especially Kevin, and Kevin. did not vote that way. What's going to happen with the Kevin Mary
Oh.
alliance? Is that done, or are they going to make a move now against Say and Mary will trust Kevin again? Well, is that what's going to happen?
Right now, I want to say Mary's done, but I think Say could A blow up her own spot. And that's why I also think you take Say out. I want to take out my first vote. I need to, even if like I can work with anybody, I take out the most unpredictable and volatile person, especially if they have an idol. I am at least trying to flush the idol with flush Say's idol. Because at minimum, it's like, can I get you out? If you don't play your idol, great, you go home. And if not, and you play your idol, the idol's out of the game. Or at least it's back and I can go find it. So that's Say does not inspire like diehard loyalty to me. Say inspires I will do whatever I need to do to get ahead.
Hmm.
And Say is also very just quick and like I think this is good. I'm gonna go with it. So
Yeah,
that's why I don't
I
love the
do think
move.
it's gonna I do think it's going to work out. I think it's going to be a Teeny Saul
Interesting.
situation where Teeny immediately turned on Saul, and then they ended up
Ah,
being the closest allies going into the merge because they worked together the rest of the votes. I
these people
think
are
it's
very
going to be the
different.
same. I think they're going to go after Say next, and I think after that, I think Kevin and Mary are going to be a tight duo that will go against maybe a Justin Cedric duo, and I think they'll be able to pull Justin onto their side if they go again and maybe vote out Cedric at that
Oh,
point.
I don't want to lose Cedric, but
He's
um,
giving me nothing. He's bland.
uh,
He's blah.
give
I don't
him
know.
time. Give him time.
I don't think time will
We
help
had
him.
two confessionals from Justin and three from Cedric and three from Mary on a tribe that went to tribal.
That is ridiculous.
Ridiculous. So yeah, you got nothing. Not Cedric and Justin's fault. It's the episode's fault. It's production's fault. So my gripe there. But Stephanie, it was nice knowing you.
Yep.
I wish we got more from her. Just even if she went home. But yeah, she's the best. I would have been really funny to see the shot in the dark work just because I would have wanted that to work and then have Say play her idol and then then who the hell knows what happens.
I thought Say was
But
going to prevent instead of playing her idol if it worked. I thought she was going to write down Mary.
oh,
Because she already knew she was gonna go after Mary anyway, because she knew Mary was probably not gonna vote with them. So I thought that that would just make sense for her, and then she can keep
yeah,
her idol,
100%.
but she didn't.
Uh,
And
yep.
yeah.
And I will say next time I think we're gonna be in for some fireworks, no matter who goes to tribal. As we keep going, seeing the game just break more open, I'm here for it, and these players want to play. Can we talk about some other players who want to play the game, and we'll probably see play the game in a year?
Hmm. Yeah.
That
Survivor 50.
Survivor 50 in the hands of the fans with a logo I don't really like, but you know what? This
That's
is the
not actually the logo. It's just
Jeff just said it's the logo.
what? There's no way that's the
That's the
logo.
logo. That is the logo. As far as we know, that is the logo. But we'll see.
Hmm.
I don't like
I
it.
doubt it, but
They wanted a logo that harked back to Borneo. Jeff called it, so we'll see.
oh,
Regardless,
okay, okay, got it, got it. That makes sense. Okay.
yeah, whatever. The logo for now, at least.
Yeah.
But what we have four things to vote on this round. We're gonna get two more opportunities to vote on things throughout the season. But the first four things we have to vote for, Steven, I'm really curious to hear what you think. Tribe colors, I think they just threw us a bone. Do you have a preference between the three? Do
Yeah,
you know
so
what they are?
there was
It's
blue, orange, and green was A.
Yep,
B
yes,
was orange, I think like teal and
teal,
magenta.
teal and
Um,
a purple magenta, yeah.
yeah.
And
I
then
thought it was pink when I first saw it, but
yeah,
yeah,
I said pink, purple, yeah.
yeah. And
And
then
then
the green, red, and yellow. Um, I feel
the
like the one we get the least I don't think we've ever had this combination. Maybe, well, wait. Yeah, if you replace the green this season with teal, it's the same colors. And so I think these colors I kind of like. I did if
yeah.
there was I wish there was not orange and I wish it was like green instead of orange, then I would be 100% down for it. But yeah, I'm going with B. Orange,
I
teal,
want brown.
magenta,
Bring back brown. I'm
brown.
sorry. I want to go crazy. If they let me pick these colors, I'm going. One, I'm doing two tribes of 10. For the love of God, I'm doing that.
Yeah,
Give me
it's
pink.
ridiculous that it's three tribes again. I'm so
Well,
annoyed about that.
here's what I'm curious about. I don't think we 100% know that.
Oh,
Could these
there could be
three
a swap.
swap or is it the merge color? Who knows?
Huh.
Who knows? I'm hopeful. I think it's gonna be 3 of 6, but I just want more people, so I would rather
And
they
I think
go.
that's silly for a returning season, three tribes of six, because
Eh.
people might know each other from outside of
Jeff loves
the
his three
game.
tribes. I don't get it. Speaking of another thing Jeff loves, he loves not giving people rice.
Give him
The
rice.
options are, yeah, give them rice or make them earn it is how they have it phrased.
Yeah, give him rice.
Yeah.
Why do we need to prevent them from having rice? They're still
I,
starving with rice.
no, I don't mind. Yeah, and I think like to make it harder. I'm all for the game being hard, but when you have rice, one, they're a little bit sharper.
That's what I
They're playing a
wanted.
little
I like
harder,
about it.
and we can get moments. I doubt we're getting it in season 50. Who knows? Maybe somebody goes off the deep end and pulls a Jatia or a Brandon Hance, obviously not the going to jail part, and just dumps it out. I don't know.
Yeah.
Get some
I
racing.
do agree with you with it makes you sharper. It makes
Yeah,
you maybe perform better in challenges. It might help a team who loses an immunity challenge not be like struggling and now have a harder
yeah.
time to win the next one because they don't have the flint and they don't have rice and stuff. Like at least they were able to maybe right before the challenge like eat some rice and then so they are still have some sort of food in them. I
Mhm.
still want them to starve, but I think rice is just a staple of Survivor. They should still get rice.
Yeah. I want to see them functioning. The other easy one I think you and I have, looking ahead, should we bring back the live finale reunion show in Los Angeles or keep the winner reveal and after show in the jungles of Fiji?
Los Angeles, and if
Thank
they
God.
do that, I am going to, as long as it's not like a ton of money, I'm probably going to try my best to buy a ticket.
I don't think it's gonna be possible.
You don't think so?
You've never been able to buy tickets. It's always like invite only.
Oh, is it? I'm not getting
Yeah,
invited.
we're not getting invited. Um, unless listen, I if anybody out there, I would pay somebody money to get invite me. But you know,
Oh yeah,
I would kill
100%.
I would kill
But
somebody.
yeah,
The one where
I want the live reunion.
yeah, oh, yeah, I think that's gonna be out of every option, every vote. I think that's gonna be the biggest slam dunk we have. And then the last one, the one
I
where
think this
I
might
am
be
mad
the
at the word.
closest.
I'm gonna read the wording of this just because it bothers me.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get into some gameplay. The Final Four Fire-Making Showdown has delivered some of the most dramatic moments in Survivor history, but not every fan is on board. Where do you stand? Already, leading the witness already. Let me put these options. A, keep it. It gives players control of their destiny. Or B, lose it. Let them vote someone out just like the early seasons. Could they be putting their fingers more on the scale? Could
They're
they be
trying.
telling you how they want you to vote?
They're trying, and I agree with them.
Ugh.
I think the Final Four fire making should stay. Do I
Ugh.
love I mean, yeah, I think it should stay, and I love the idea of fire making because it's Survivor. You should know how to make fire, and at the Final Four, if you haven't gotten out the biggest threat yet, then you deserve to lose. That's how I feel, and I wish. I do like the idea of voting. So like I do wish that the Final Four vote isn't always the biggest threat most likely gets
Yeah.
voted out. If it wasn't that, I would prefer the vote.
Well,
But I'm not like Jesse being so bad at fire making and still losing, like then that it is what it is. But Jesse would have been voted out if there was a vote, like 43.
okay.
So
Here's my counterpoint to you. Two things. One, I'm not the biggest fan of challenges in general, but every season, what was the final three challenge and then became the final four challenge, whatever the final immunity challenge is, when you have a vote, even if you know very simply here are the stakes, one person needs to win, even if it's the one person needs to win the challenge or they're gone, or in a case maybe where you have two big threats, if neither of them win it, you have a very interesting situation. That challenge has so much drama and intrigue. I am watching that with pins and needles. Nowadays, I'm like, all right, I'd like some. Like last season, it was like, I'd like Teeny to win it or whatever. Okay, Rachel won it, whatever. And there was no drama, none of it, because I was like, well, oh, it just matters who goes into fire anyway. Like it means next to nothing. So pulling that out of it, too, we can still have fire for Final Four fire making if there is a tie. How good are ties in Survivor? Those are the like, fire making challenges that I'm like, that's iconic.
true.
Aubrey and Sydney, one of my favorite moments in the history of this show because Michelle and Ty could not get on the same page. And you know what? That's the beauty of Survivor. Figure your shit out, and if you can't, then that's how you break the tie. I also want a final two. I don't think I'm getting that either. So, I can dream. But I would love at least one season to not have Final Four fire making. or at least, and listen, if it has to be 50 because that's the only season I can control, go ahead. Um, but in general, let them vote, let them play the game more, and if fire making results from it, so be it. Um, but yeah, I want the game to keep going past four, and I feel like it does. I feel like it stops at five at this point. But fingers crossed.
Hmm.
But I do think you're gonna get your wish, Steven. I really
I
do.
don't. I think most people don't like fire, and I think it's going to be a
Mm,
vote. But
we'll see.
I
I've
do. But
seen
I just think I like the fire
in
making.
the
Like you know,
Survivor
it's
of
going to
like,
be fire making practice, and then you
of
know,
course they are. But what fun is that then? You all practiced and what like Teeny lost fire making because of wind. Let's be real. How exciting is that? No, I'm sorry.
you're right. I think if they're going to change anything, make sure it's like you have like a covering to prevent
But
fire
what's the point of
blowing.
that? They're outside. Put them in a dome?
Well,
Come on.
just make sure it's fair. If it's fair, like if there's wind on both people, then yeah.
You can't control that though. That's the beauty of
You
Survivor.
can if you put it under, like it's about building fire. It's not about building fire in a windier spot than the other person.
I
It's
mean,
about
yeah, but
building
like
fire.
yeah, but unless you put like if you cover it, wind still comes in from like most directions and like if it rains, I just
Remember what Rick Devens and Chris Underwood did?
they still had to deal with wind in that booth. And
Barely.
now and now with the booth, players can't even see it. How like that just I don't know. I don't like
Put a
that.
jury booth, a jury like stand in the booth. I don't know, but
I
yeah,
can't
either
rid of
way,
it.
we'll see what happens. If you guys are
But
watching this, comment on the YouTube what you guys picked, what you guys voted for. I'm curious.
and if you voted for to get rid of fire making, you are now my friend. Just I would like people to know that. DM me. We're friends now. It's all cool.
Awesome.
But
Really
yeah,
quick before we get into some questions about the season coming up, I wanted to quickly share the scenes from the next episode. David has four nipples,
great.
which is
How
crazy.
important?
So
Yeah,
important.
I believe that.
Um, Say, seeming like a loose cannon and is holding a grudge against Mary for writing her name
Okay.
down. I think that it's going to be a Say versus Mary coming up. I think the guys are in a great spot.
This is
Star is saying there's
it's
a,
like Sue and Kyle. I love it.
yeah. Star is saying that a girl on her tribe is coming after her. For some reason, I'm feeling like that's Bianca. So I
Let's
think that's
see.
going to be an interesting, maybe Bianca versus Star. And then Shaheen says he's doing sabotage. Now, this I think is a
It
big.
feels.
Here's my bold prediction that
Oh, here we go.
okay. I think it's one of two things. I'll say what I kind of think it is, and then I'll say what I actually think it is. I think there's a chance that Shaheen is the one who found the beware advantage and is trying to fool everyone else that he doesn't have it. But what I truly think that is actually happening is I think Star found the beware advantage and needs help figuring out the code. So she tells Shaheen and maybe others that she feels like she has a good relationship with about it, and they want to make sure that Star does not get the advantage because they want to vote her out. So Shaheen is
Ooh.
purposely trying to sabotage her chances of solving the code
Okay.
by maybe cutting off some of the animals. Like he figured it out and maybe is like cutting off the animals so she doesn't have all of the animals to solve the code. I think she could be
Oh,
leading her in wrong places on purpose. I think that is what's happening. I think Shaheen is cooking up some mess and trying to
I'm
get
here
Star
for it.
not to get the be aware
Uh,
advantage.
You know what, Steven? You've said some delusional things and conspiracy predictions. I actually like that one. I like that one a lot.
Thank you, thank
I
you.
hope you're right. That would be really funny. We'll see what happens next. I'm
We'll
really
see.
psyched for the episode for the season. I know you won't even be talking about this episode until the end of the pre-merge, but I think
Right.
we're in for a fun ride. And
Yeah.
I yeah,
So what I want to know from you is who was your preseason winner pick? Who's your
Bianca,
current winner pick?
Bianca.
Okay. Wow, that's crazy.
I'm not straying.
Okay.
We had one episode where like I don't say next to nothing happened. Two tribes had next to nothing happening.
Yeah, no, you're right.
I
You're right.
I believe in Bianca, but if you want me to give another name, I'll give you Thomas.
Okay. Okay. But no, you can keep Bianca. Who's
Yeah.
getting eliminated from each tribe next, in
Oh,
your opinion?
okay. Each tribe, if they go to tribal next, say Star, I will throw. I'm gonna say this is gonna be basic, but Star, Mary, and Charity.
Okay. Yep, I think Charity. Um, I think
Cedric, Justin, Kevin.
so Charity, and then from the Purple Tribe, I
Yeah.
think it's going to be Star,
Okay.
and from the Green Tribe, I think it's going to be I think it's going to be Say if she doesn't play her idol, and if she does, I think it's going to be Mary. But
Okay.
I think the majority of votes will be on Say next time they go to Tribal.
I'm here for it.
And my preseason winner pick was Kevin. Um, and yes, I do think that Kyle had a lot of great answers in the short interview that I did watch of him, and that's why I had him as a possible winner pick. But I think I want to stick to the person who I had preseason, and so the official person that is my winner pick. So if he wins, I've called it, is Kevin.
Okay.
That is my official winner pick. It was my preseason winner pick. I'm sticking with him. He hasn't done anything to make me stray away from it. And
Yeah.
lately, social game has been a big thing, and he has an amazing social game, I think.
Oh,
So even if he's not the most strategic out of the final three, I could see him being the winner just
yeah.
based on social relationships.
Yeah. I've met a few people in this cast. I'll say Kevin has the best social game. Like just in real life.
Hmm.
Like I had a 20-minute discussion with Kevin and Camilla, and they're both DMing me afterwards, thanking me, and I'm like, what the hell did I do? Nicest people. This cast is just on top of gameplay, just nicest humans. So shout out to those two, Kyle and Shaheen as well. But yeah, dude,
Yeah.
Steven, this has been so much fun. This has
This
been
has been
so much. I
great.
love this so much.
Yeah, thank you so much for hopping on again. It's always great having you help
I
out
appreciate it.
and help me co-host while Pat is out and busy. So thank you so much for
Hey,
hopping on.
Steven, thank you again.
Of course, thank you for hopping on, and we will see you next time when we recap the entirety of the pre-merge and all of the best moments from it. All right, see you guys.
Bye.